The topic is octet structure in IPv4 and how to convert decimal octet to binary and binary octet to decimal. The calculation of an IPv4 octet is based on binary system and powers of 2. An IPv4 address is 32 bits long and is divided into 4 8-bit sections or octets. You can understand this by thinking we should know first that what is the structure of IPv4. IPv4 is a structure in which it has 4 parts, that is numericals, which is separated by decimals. It is like 192.64.32.8. So it has 3 decimal points in between separated by each numericals. And each of that numericals can be either from 0 to 255. And each of that is of 8 bits. In total, 8 into 4 equals to 32 bits. So octet structure. Each octet is 8-bit long. In binary, a bit can be either a 0 or a 1. Also, the prerequisite is knowing the computer device or system level language is binary language, and devices and computers only understand binary language, that is from zeros and ones. And to convert an 8-bit binary number into a decimal, the number you see in an IP address, you multiply each bit by its corresponding power of 2, starting from 2 power 7 on the far left down to 2 power 0 on the far right. The positional values for the 8 bits in an octet are, so you must understand the octet structure in a way, like as I mentioned, it's 8-bit, and as it says octet, it is 8. So it would be the values of that octet are from 2 power 0 to 2 power 7, which makes 8 values. So you must know like bit position, that is from 2 power 7 followed by 2 power 6, 2 power 5, so on until 2 power 0. And its values are mentioned as 2 power 7 is equals to 128, 2 power 6 equals 64, so on until 2 power 0 equals 1. And the minimum value for an octet, all 8 bits are 0. So the minimum value of each octet in an IPv4 is 0, and the maximum it can be is 255. So it is mentioned in an example, that is 0 into 128 plus 0 into 64, so on until 0 into 1 all calculated equals to 0. And also for the maximum as well, it would be 1 into 128 plus 1 into 64, so on until 1 into 1, which all added and multiplied equals 255. So that was about the octet structure. Now let's understand how to convert octet binary into the decimal. So we will be taking an example of a binary octet that is as follows, which is 10101100, and we will calculate its decimal value. So the first step would be to mention or map the position value and binary octet. So we must know that position values are always the 2 power 7 until 2 power 0, which we understood in the previous section. So you must mention that 128, 64, 32, so on until 1. And the example octet we took was binary octet 10101100. And now the step 2 would be multiplying each binary digit by its position value. So it would be as simple as 1 into 28 plus 0 into 64, so on until 1 into 1. And the step 3 would be summing all the results. So it would be adding all the calculations of the step 2. So the result would be 172. So that was about binary to binary octet to decimal. Now let's understand how to convert decimal octet into the binary. So for this we have to reverse the process. So let's take an example of an octet value of 192. We will convert it into the binary. For this we have to mention, as usual, 2 power 7 until 2 power 0 values, which is like 120, 128, 64, so on until 1. And the second section would be calculation side. For the calculation side, you have to mention the first in the first number would be the example that you have taken, or what is the value of the decimal, which in here is 192. The first side would be 192 minus the power of 2 power 7, which we have taken in the previous side by side table. So we mention 192 minus 128, which equals 64. So if the result is calculated or if it can be subtracted, we take the result bit as 1. So on the result section, it is mentioned like, since the subtraction was possible, we take the result bit as 1, and we have got the remainder as 64. And we continue this process by 2 power 6, which equals 64. So we take the remainder which we got from the previous calculation, 64 of the previous calculation, minus the 64 of 2 power 6, which gives the result as 0. Since the calculation was subtraction was possible, we take that as result bit 1, so which gives us the remainder 0, and so on further. As we got the remainder 0, we take that as a first digit minus the 2 power 5, I believe, which is not possible. So since the remainder is already 0, we take that as 0, and so on until 2 power 1 or 2 power 0, we take that all as 0. So the resulting 8-bit binary octet which we get from the decimal value of 192 would be 11000000. So that was the video for today. I hope it was simple explanation from my side. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.